Like and subscribe now, or you're gonna have bad luck this week. We have always relied on digital maps to tell us the most intricate details about all kinds of places, from continents right down to our very own houses on the street. But did you know there are a number of places that Google refrains from showing us? These places are off limits, from the mysteries of Tibet to untouched rainforests. Here are some eerie places Google Earth is definitely hiding from us. Gazprom CEO's house, Russia. This place is one of the very few houses that have been blurred and hidden on Google Maps. This is the house of Gazprom CEO Alexey Miller in the Moscow area of Russia. It appears to be blurred on Google Earth for a very simple reason. Miller simply asked Google to blur it for him. If you think you need to be really powerful and rich to do it, you're wrong. Anyone can do it. All you have to do is provide the location to Google and have your house blurred. But not everyone's gonna bother doing that, because what do you have to hide? I mean, why would you blur your house on Google Earth if you aren't afraid that someone will see something they aren't supposed to? But Miller's a millionaire and one of the richest people in Russia, so maybe he did it for his own safety, or maybe he wants to hide something. Russia's known to be pretty secretive, kinda like North Korea, but we know for sure something fishy has to be going on in that house. Does anyone want to go find out? A large area in northern Tibet. In Tibet, just north of the beautiful mountainous region of Mapamyumko, lies Lake Manasarovar. It's a picturesque area surrounded by mountains and populated by local wildlife. The lake itself is a sight to behold, being one of the few high-elevation freshwater lakes in the world. If you want to see it, you have to visit the place yourself, because for some weird reason, the lake and large area around are grayed out on Google Earth. No one really knows why, and although the lake is sacred to 4 religions, including Buddhism and Hinduism, that shouldn't be enough to guard it against prying eyes. It's probably more that the Chinese government is trying to hide something. Maybe a secret research facility? Who knows? North Korea. We know a lot of things are wrong with North Korea. Ranging from an authoritarian regime to no internet available for the people, North Korea is one hell of a country. And to think that South Korea is one of the most prosperous countries globally makes what goes on in North Korea even more mind-blowing. A lot of the simplest human rights are violated, and residents aren't even allowed to leave the country. Those who want to come to North Korea face many challenges. It's not usually permitted. It's also rumored that the government brainwashes its residents and makes them think that they live in a perfect state. But one of the craziest things about the country is that it's been completely censored from Google Maps. You can't view any part of the country from Google Maps. And I bet the government is probably behind all this. UFO sighting in Antarctica. Most countries are now on the map, which provides a broad view of the world. Alien believers also use it, and they believe they've observed the form of alien life. It's believed that a UFO landing site was found in Antarctica. In a screenshot of Google Earth, a huge disk was seen flying around by some user. It could easily be an alien hiding place, as Antarctica is still the least discovered part of the world. In another image, you'll see a small depression in the snow with no other traces around. One outstanding representative of the Russian UFO community believes that the location is a sign of alien life forms, and the governments are trying to cover the controversy. It's 65 meters wide and 230 meters long, so it is large enough to be used to build a ship. What do you guys think? Is it real, and are aliens planning to take over the Earth? Another area in Tibet. Tibet looks like a good place to hide something. It's a large mountainous area, most of which is pretty much inaccessible by air or even land. However, nothing can be hidden forever, especially from Google, unless you tell Google to hide that something for you. The previous entry isn't the only area grayed out in Tibet. Here's another one, this time an area west of Hilsa, Tibet, basically a staging point for tourists wanting to venture into the mountains and for religious pilgrims who consider the surrounding area sacred. By looking at the surrounding topography, nothing should be here except for mountains, which makes it highly suspicious as to why it's grayed out. No one may truly know what's in this area until Google decides to finally uncover it. HAARP site, Gakona, Alaska. We have already told you guys about HAARP, but let us tell you a little bit more about the project. It's funded by the US Navy and US Air Force. The program itself aims to analyze the ionosphere and study the ways to improve radio communication and surveillance technologies. Many people around the globe think that HAARP is responsible for weaponizing weather and triggering floods, earthquakes, droughts, and other unwanted natural disasters. Yep, you heard that right. Most likely similar theories appear because HAARP sites are highly classified, and it makes people think, what are they hiding from us? Of course, the HAARP staff denies these allegations. But what are they hiding there that they had the whole place censored? And the answer, so no one goes on a trip there, is not convincing enough. Google has kept a lot of secrets from us, but this one is really one of the biggest ones there is. Amchitka Island, Alaska. If you search for this island, you'll see that more than half of the island is blurred out. As per the records, Amchitka was selected by the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission during the late 1950s to be the site for underground nuclear tests. Reportedly, 3 underground nuclear tests have been conducted on the island. Today, this island's being monitored for any leakage of radioactive material. It is slated that the island will become a restricted access wildlife preserve in 2025. Valencia City, Philippines. Another example of a whole region being wiped out from viewership. Valencia City is a city located in the Philippines that's populated by over 190,000 people. It's a very large and densely populated city, and even has several tourist sites. But if you want to find it on Google Earth, even if you're just a tourist, you won't be able to do so. You don't even have to live there to be censored from viewership. The whole city is blurred out. Supposedly it was done because Valencia City was their government headquarters, where it's used for the testing of missiles and working on defense programs. If that's true, we can understand why they blur out the entire city on Google Earth. For security reasons, of course. It's strange, but hey, we have seen a whole country blurred out in this list, so that's nothing. Area 51. Area 51 makes a list yet again. We're sure you must have heard about Area 51. If not, what century are you from? It's a highly classified area of a U.S. military base in Nevada. For decades, people have speculated that this facility is used by the government to experiment on aliens that have crashed to the Earth and deconstruct their spaceship technology. You might not buy into those conspiracy theories, and for a good reason. There's never been any factual evidence to back it up. However, Google Maps did blur the area so people can't see it, which probably just adds to conspiracy theorist speculation, so who's gonna rate it next? An untouched rainforest. At times, it seems like humans have explored every nook and cranny of the land on Earth. But in 2013, researchers went somewhere that almost no one has ever been before. All thanks to Google Earth. Their destination was Mount Lico, Mozambique, where the research team discovered a high-altitude rainforest perched atop sheer slopes. Welsh conservation scientist Julian Bayliss first discovered the spot using Google Earth. Actually, visiting the forest required a dizzying 123-meter climb up a vertical granite face. When they got to the top, scientists found a remarkable ecosystem populated by butterflies, spiders, and small mammals. A few old handmade pots revealed that someone else had once made the climb, perhaps 100 years before. No one knew for sure who left the pots behind. An oil refinery in Hungary. Usually if there's a huge industry anywhere in the world, you can easily see its infrastructure and what goes on using Google Maps. But that isn't the case with this oil refinery. An oil refinery in Hungary asked Google Earth to completely wipe out all buildings and grounds in and around the area and mark them green. So if you look at a map of this refinery in Google Earth, all you're gonna see is a large green field. There are no pipelines, storage tanks, or production facilities, almost as if there's no oil refinery there. And what makes it even stranger are these blocks on the field. What do they mean? The reason for blurring this area is still unknown. Evidently, they wanted to hide or protect something from the outside viewer. But the question is, what exactly? What is so unusual there that makes them different from other oil refineries around the world? Can you explain the reason behind the censoring of one of these places? If yes, let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our channel for more amazing daily content. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.